Uh, my first question is, you are already somehow in the pinnacle of the judicial hierarchy, being in the Supreme Court. Why would you want to be an ombudsman?
Well, some of my friends or even my family have been asking me that question. You know, before I applied for the position of Court of Appeals Associate Justice, it was then my initial intention to apply as Deputy Ombudsman. I was still a regional trial court judge of Quezon City. But as they say, life has its own plans. So here I am, now as a member of the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, as an Associate Justice. However, the opportunity is knocking once again at the door. So my dream then of being an activist watchman or a watchdog is again open, because I would like to also to, of course, I have seen something that I believe I can do if I be appointed as an ombudsman. Like we say, the problem of inordinate delays in the investigation and the prosecution of graft and corruption or misdeeds involving public officials or employees. And I want also to at least to help how to regain public trust in the ombudsman.
What is your comment about the actions of the previous ombudsman of filing administrative cases against some members of the judiciary for issuing cease and desist orders on certain dismissal and suspensions of certain government officials?
The preventive, referring to preventive suspension, Your Honor. Okay, that was done by the former ombudsman. Okay, actually, there is even a pending case right now, okay, wherein the former ombudsman filed a case against the some of the associate justices of the Court of Appeals for issuing TROs or enjoining the implementation of the suspension order made by the former ombudsman, and he even filed an administrative case against them. Although this is sub judice, so I will no longer tackle about the propriety of that case. Well, for me, I think it is within the power of the ombudsman to administer or to preventively suspend those government officials, even though how high their position is, but not, of course, those whom the ombudsman does not have an authority to do so. It does not have any jurisdiction, like let us say the members of Congress. He cannot just administratively act on some issues or some administrative complaints, because that is not within the ambit of the authority of the ombudsman, or neither those officers which can only be removed by way of impeachment, or it does not even have the authority to act on administrative cases as to the members of the judiciary. But I subscribe that he has the power, of course, to to preventively suspend a government official for under pending investigation or fact-finding investigation, Your Honor.
If you have an opportunity to talk to the President, what will you tell him to convince him to consider you as the next ombudsman?
Well, maybe I will tell to the President that I've been in the judiciary for more than 3 decades. I started my career as a municipal trial court judge in Bangar, La Union, and until I reached the pinnacle of my judicial career, which as Justice of the Supreme Court, I am a true blue Ilocano. And when it comes to loyalty, for sure, I can be as loyal as the Ilocanos. But of course, without telling this to President, but of course, my loyalty is to the people, not to the person or to the to the person who will be appointing me. But I will convince him that I have my integrity, my impartiality, which is ingrained into my bones, being tested with fire, as we may say, because of my long years in the judiciary. And of course, I can also say to him that if he will appoint me, he can again appoint somebody to take my place instead.
Well said. That was my final question, and thank you and good luck, Justice Gairlan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Mejia. Our next interviewer is the Honorable Justice Erlinda Piñera Uy, regular member